What's up, Galaxy of Heroes friends and family? I am the Gerbil, duh. Anyway, today is a rare moment. This is one of those things that we wish people would acknowledge more often, despite the fact that they don't. And then when a politician does it, we're all like, how could you change your mind, you flip-flopper? It's the weirdest thing. I mean, seriously, when a politician changes their mind, yeah, sometimes it's like, that's not why I voted for you. But at the same time, people should change their mind whenever we are faced with new information, especially through science and even anecdotal experiences. Well, these are 8 things that I have changed my mind about over the last, I don't know, maybe year in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. And I thought I would share some of them because if you watch some of my older videos, this is not exactly what I said before because I've changed my mind. So let's get to it. There's some really, really useful stuff in here. And I'm going to start with the first one, Leviathan's Reinforcements. You see, in my last Leviathan mirror match video, I really praised Cassian's U-Wing. And I still stand by it as an excellent first reinforcement. However, I have really come around to TIE Defender. Now you're saying, but you need this for other fleets. Well, yeah, sure, in GAC, but for your daily arena climb, TIE Defender as a first reinforcement is a really, really solid pick. I mean, it is a solid pick for several reasons. First off, as we're going to watch here in a second, whenever you call a reinforcement, you get to stun an enemy. Like in this particular situation, I'd misplayed. The reinforcement comes in, stuns Fury, and right here I could have stunned the, whatever that is, the Sith fighter. And then both of those ships would be stunned. Nonetheless, I did a basic, which triple tapped it. Now, I did substantial damage with that. Second benefit, the TIE Defender attacks 3 times. The hardest ship to kill in the Leviathan lineup is the Mark 6, because normally every time you hit him, you only remove 2 stacks of whatever those things are. However, its basic hits it 3 times, removing 6 stacks. If you then use your Mark 6 to call it as an assist, you will hit it 6, you hit it 3 times, Mark 6 calls it, you hit it 4 times. It's a wonderful thing. Also, the unresistible days allows you to stun the enemy Mark 6 so that it cannot attack with retribution. It's gold. Another thing, and I got to read the kit again, when the TIE Defender dodges, and it will dodge, it pumps turn meter to your Leviathan. I do believe. It may only be Empire ships. I need to go back and read the kit. Y'all can let me know in the comments. I'll read the kit after I publish this, but I don't recall. But it's going to dodge a lot, eating up enemy attacks and costing them turns, which is another great feature of it. But I'm pretty sure it's feeding me turn meter. Now, am I saying that TIE Defender should always be your first reinforcement? Absolutely not. There are times where I will call in the TIE Dagger, which is another thing I changed my mind on. I used to think it utterly sucked. Now I recognize that the TIE Dagger has a really wonderful benefit of the mass cleanse every time it gets 15 stacks of its stacky stuff. So when it gets all those stacky stuffs, and you're going to get a lot of debuffs, which is how it triggers, every time you get a debuff, it gets a stack of something. You're going to get a lot of those debuffs in a mirror match with the Leviathan. So it keeps you cleansed so that you don't get the speed down, you don't get the healing immunity, etc., etc., etc. So I alternate depending on board state now between TIE Dagger and TIE Defender, and I have near 100% win rate, whether I go first or second, whether enemy TIE fighter or Sith fighter goes first or second. These 2 ships are utterly, first and foremost, my reinforcements. All right, moving along. Second thing I changed my mind on is defense and crit avoidance. As we saw from Datacrons, when you can get 200-300% defense, it's really hard to beat that squad. This character, Sith Empire Trooper, I have slept on for, that sounds weird, I have ignored for a long time. But I have started replacing Watt with Sith C, Galactic Legend C, what is he? Sith Eternal Emperor, and GAC. I've taken out Watt instead of giving him the tank tech, and I'm putting in Sith Empire Trooper because with the crit avoidance arrow at 35% crit avoidance, with the 100% bonus defense in his kit, with defense mods, he fundamentally never dies. And as a Sith, the Sith Eternal Emperor, his middle ability, whatever, recovers some of his protection. So you mod him for insane amounts of protection, and mine is not optimal, but you mod him for insane amount of protection, lots and lots of defense. Like I need help. I need a lot more defense secondaries on here, like percentage defense secondaries, not whatever. Like my circle's pretty good. It's plus 9% defense. That's pretty good. But you mod him for insane defense, crit avoidance, and the dude just takes a pounding and does not die. I love it. I am sold on crit avoidance mods for tanks. I am sold on defense for pretty much everything. It is really becoming, in many cases, a go-to. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. McDonald's. Next. Oh, I hit the wrong key there. Sorry about that, folks. Let's go the other way. Tenacity versus potency. Okay, so 2022 was an interesting year. Was it 2023? 2023. It felt like every new character came to the board with unresistible debuffs, right? We got Suspicion on Sana. We got Purge on the Inquisitors, which was 2022. We got Captive on Hondo. We've got Expose on Zori. We've got Disarm on Chrysanthemum. We got Hope on Radis. We've got Speed Down on Sith Trooper. Scout Trooper, sorry, not Sith Trooper. We've got blah, blah, blah everywhere. Like, it was unresistible. If it's unresistible, what the heck good is a Tenacity mod? Well, it turns out the most recent batch of new characters, Kyle Beck, Kelleran Beck, man, a lot of mispronunciations tonight. Apologize. I think that's because I criticized how people were saying phalanx. My bad, Bombardier. Yeah, you know who you are, YouTube commenters. And so I was like, what's the point in like Tenacity if everything's unresistible? And CG's kind of backed up on that. Kyle Katarn, why am I talking about Kyle Katarn so much? Kyle's stuck in my head. Cal Kestis, I'm pretty sure does not have any unresistible debuffs. Kelleran Beck did not. It seems that they are realizing if they make every character unresistible, then Tenacity is pointless. So they're kind of, it feels like CG's backtracking on that a bit. And to that, there are many characters in the game that have just utterly low tenacity. And as an Ewok lover, I'm going to say one of those is Ewok Scout. Not Ewok Scout. Again, I need some potency tonight, man. I am just mispronouncing everything. Water. I know, it ain't potency. I need a coffee. It's Ainali Shinbaka. That means where's Starbucks? It's down the street and they're closed. It's late. Sorry, bummer. I need coffee. Anyway, Ewok Elder. If Ewok Elder dies on a lot of Ewok squads, you're really, really in trouble. He's your turn meter driver, he's your healer, he's your reviver, he's your mass cleanser next to Nisa. But his tenacity kind of bites. And if you mod him straight up for health, for example, he's going to get dazed, he's going to get stunned, he's going to get whatevered, and you lose. So with the shift in removing every character no longer having an unresistible debuff, I've started to flip back to tenacity mods as at least if not one set, super high secondaries wherever possible. Like honestly, I think tenacity has become my number 2 most desired mod. I want speed, I want tenacity. And I feel like you can almost never go wrong with tenacity. Almost never go wrong with tenacity. It feels like. The other one, of course, the flip side of that is potency. Man, potency makes everything better. People don't even realize how the kits are getting longer and longer and longer and longer and longer. And that's because every new character introduces new debuffs and new abilities and if-then triggers that are just obsessive everywhere. If this, then that. If this, then that. And the best way to ensure that if this happens is if you land that debuff or whatever, and that requires a potency check. So potency is like, it makes everything 400% better. I know I'm saying get your defense. I know I'm saying get your crit avoidance. I know I'm saying get your tenacity. I know I'm saying get potency. What I'm really saying is stop hyper excessively focusing on speed. Speed ain't everything in this game, and it's moving more and more that direction with Seer punishing teams for speed, with Tuskens punishing teams for turn meter advantage and other stuff, right? Speed is not the end-all be-all. All right, next up is the indoor raid. Like, when this raid came out, I was, on it. I figured out the mechanics really early, and I kind of made it a focus of my channel to try to help the community figure it out. And a lot of us really struggled with the motion in it. I don't even look at the motion. I don't even look at the characters. 90% of my focus is exclusively on the bottom icons, the buttons. I'm just focusing on abilities, and I'm just spamming. Evasive maneuvers, basic. Evasive maneuvers, forest friends, basic. Hasty repairs, force friends, basic, right? I'm not even looking at the board state most of the time. So I don't even see the action. I don't see the motion. I don't care. And especially with yesterday's road ahead, I really like the indoor raid more than I can express because it is easy. I'm sorry, folks, if you don't like it, you are gonna really hate the next one probably. The next raid, Capital Games has already said your maximum point potential will be with Jar Jar Binks. And if you didn't know Jar Jar's coming, you need to go back and watch my Road Ahead video or go read the Road Ahead. It also said Queen Amidala is going to be very, very, very effective in the raid. In other words, you need 5 new characters for the raid coming up soon to get Jar Jar Binks. Or you need 4 Gungans plus Jar Jar, so you need 5 new characters there. Then you're going to need Queen Amidala. Queen Amidala is likely going to need the 2 new Galactic Republics they referenced. And I'm just throwing it out there. I think that we are absolutely going to get Padawan Kenobi, and he's going to be essential for her team. So I think there are potentially 7 new characters you're going to want to farm if you're going to want to maintain a high score. The indoor raid is easy. Most people already had troopers. Most people already had effective, at least gear 12-able Ewoks or beyond if you're chasing Leia. Most people already had Han Solo, C-3PO, etc. This was the easiest raid we're going to get, folks. The next raid, if you're hitting 19, 16, 10 million points in indoor, prepare to half that going forward unless you open wallet or you hoard your resources now to get all of the Gungans. So, if you are still hater on the indoor raid, you might want to shift your focus and get the best out of it you can while you can. All right, Datacrons, sort of. So Datacrons, I still fundamentally overall hate, but what I do like about them is the ability to revitalize characters like Lando Calrissian, like Chirrut Imwe, right? Lando is unfortunately a very, very meh character, but under Leia with Cheerio, he's really solid. Why? Because both Cheerio and Lando with his Landocron, Lando will now attack out of turn every time a rebel ally uses an ability, dealing 50% more damage. Now that doesn't sound like much, but if you consider Cheerio is also attacking with every rebel ability, then you are getting 2 guaranteed assists every turn. And while his AoE is still utterly worthless at this late phase of our game, his basic is punching up there. I'm hitting, like here in a second, there's a screenshot top right corner, shooting gas in the back for 65,000 damage on his basic. Then another one hitting Kenobi for 47,000 on his basic. And that extra assist right there we just saw dropped whoever that was, Cat maybe, I don't know. It's just more attacks out of turn, more assists, more net damage delivered, and it's fun right there, 47,000. It was great. 58,000 on Kenobi, right? That's fun. You're turning GL Leia into Mon Mothma. Wait, that's a debuff. You are adding Mon Mothma mass assist synergies by having 2 characters perpetually assisting, and then whenever R2 goes out there too. It's a lot of fun. So Datacrons actually have some really fun viability to them. All right, Ezra versus Sabine. Hey, if you watched my old Phoenix video, you know I did a really, really, really deep analytical review of the uniques and character kits, and my final personal opinion was that Ezra is a better character in the Phoenix squad along with Captain Rex, Chopper, and Kanan. I mostly still agree with that. In most situations, I still prefer Ezra. However, there is a solid argument to be made, and at times I absolutely do not hesitate to swap out Ezra and put in Sabine, because Sabine's demolish as an AoE stagger. If she is 1 speed faster than Captain Rex, at least minimum 1 speed faster, she throws out that AoE stagger. And you need potency, right? It says deal physical damage to all enemies, stagger them for 2 turns, and expose them for 2 turns. This can be resisted, so you need potency. Next, Captain Rex goes and he does his AoE, applying Tenacity down, which cannot be resisted. It doesn't say that, but Tenacity down cannot be resisted. Then daze on everybody, then damages them. And when enemies are damaged, the stagger triggers and the enemy team loses all turn meter. So, if you are up against a team that you can kill quickly and efficiently with a 1-2 punch, just knock them all out of the park, then Sabine, I think, is the superior choice. If you are in a long, sustained matchup where you need to consistently bypass tanks who are going to taunt over and over again, then I think Ezra is the better place, because he can remove enemy buffs. He's got a targeted assist and some other stuff that provides you flexibility to gain turn meter, to optimize turn order, etc. It's complicated, but if you just want to smash buttons and win, Sabine. If you want to play something a little bit more methodical and analytical, Ezra. Yeah. Territory Wars. Only got 2 more here. I used to love Territory Wars. I used to really enjoy it. Now I hate it. Territory Wars is, to me, the worst mode in the game. I dislike it more than Conquest, more than Galactic Challenges, more than anything. I mean, Galactic Challenges annoy me. They're really hard these days sometimes, but it's not that problematic for me. Thank you, Bit Dynasty. Thank you, Scribe. I go straight to your channels. I read, or I watch a video. I listen. I replicate. I win, and I'm done with it. But Territory Wars takes me 10 to 15 minutes every Territory War to deploy. I hate that. And then when you go into the enemy territory, it's like, hey, look, we've got 39 to 50 identical enemy squads. Oh, joy. How much fun is that? And then you have to check in on it 6, 7, 8 times a day if you want to be competitive and win, to see, did my allies, did my guild mates, who I love and cherish and really, really support, did they clear this territory? Nope. Gotta wait another couple hours. Hey, especially me, I'm in China. Is anybody awake right now? Hello? Only 3 Jabbas left. Nobody's awake, right? The timing of it sucks. The repetition of it sucks. The slow deployment sucks. This is my humble opinion, though. If you love TW, great. I think it is long past overdue for an overhaul. Last one, Lord Vader. You know, everybody mocked Lord Vader, said Lord Failure for the longest time. Lord Failure is not a failure. This is what I've really come around on. I used to think that Lord Vader sucked. Like, I used to think he was absolutely garbage. He's the only GL I still don't have. In fact, I only have like 4 of his requirements even ready. I have totally come around on that. In my mind, Lord Vader has gone from Lord Failure, who sucks, to Lord I hate your guts, he's really good, how do I beat him? Of course, I do beat Lord Vader all the time. My go-to is normally going to be Finnick with Grief and other Mandos, bounty hunters, to disintegrate Royal Guard and everybody else, and then just punch your way or kick your way through Lord Vader. Unfortunately, with the addition of Dark Trooper Moff Gideon, or the inclusion of really, really fast Throns or Maul, that doesn't work very reliably. And there are other reliable counters for sure, but I find that I need those other teams in other places. My roster, as is going to be many people's rosters, is not adequately equipped to take down the complex number of characters that are currently in the game that seemingly all require a GL to beat. And by that, I mean like a Relic 9 Malgus on defense, with a Lord Vader on defense, with a Rey on defense, with a Seer with Relic 9 Malicos, and on and on and on. And yes, you can beat these teams without GLs. Sometimes you have to double or triple tap them. But oh my goodness, is it utterly stressful when you, especially if you're in that Kyber 2-1 range where I am. I was in Kyber 1 last week. I'm in Kyber 2 this week. Tomorrow I'm hoping to be back into Kyber 1. You cannot afford to drop a battle. You drop one battle and that may be your match. Like, you're done. Like, that literally happened to one of my opponents this week. I full cleared him, didn't lose. He dropped his third battle and quit. That is just really upsetting. It's really disappointing. I actually wanted that person to battle the rest of my squads. I wanted to see how things held. I don't get that opportunity. That person probably wanted to play a few more matches or have a less stressful experience. Didn't happen, right? One battle and you're done. Anyway, folks, that's all I got to say. These are the things I've changed my mind on this year that I can think of. I hope some of this was interesting, helpful, or, relevant to you. If so, you know what you do. Please smash that thumbs up. I appreciate it. And I will catch you all on the holotables. Oh, and the sub button. Please press the sub. All right. Oh, and FYI, if you're curious, yeah, we smashed this Lord Vader team. Absolutely unequivocal. Smash it. All right. See you later. Bye-bye.